Look at real estate boards across southern Ontario right now. In the Greater Toronto Area, the benchmark price of a single detached home sits above $1,300,000. Drive 3 hours down Highway 401 into eastern Ontario, and you can still find a solid detached brick house on a quarter-acre lot with mature trees for under $250,000. That is roughly one-fifth the price of a suburban starter home in Mississauga. This is the Canadian real estate paradox. We are told every day that home ownership in this country is dead for anyone under 50. Yet scattered across northern Ontario, the Maritimes, and the Prairies are hundreds of solid, livable homes selling for less than the down payment on a Toronto condo. Why are these houses sitting on MLS for 90, 120, or 200 days without an offer? We are counting down 25 of the cheapest real estate markets across Canada, from number 25 all the way down to the single lowest priced livable acreage in the country. We will break down the precise trade-off behind every price tag, hospital wait times, heating fuel costs, municipal mill rates, and economic shifts. Stay tuned for number 19, where a 4-bedroom character home on a full acre sits inside an Atlantic mill town for less than a used pickup truck, but the local emergency room closes on weekends. And watch for number 22 in the Ontario mining belt, where you can buy a bungalow for under $150,000 if you haul your own drinking water. If you want the unvarnished truth about rural Canadian real estate without agent spin, hit that subscribe button right now. Number 25. The Township of Temagami, Ontario in Nipissing District. Step onto Highway 11 and you are met with towering white pines, clear water along Lake Temagami, and classic northern stone log cabins. The permanent population sits right around 800 people. The benchmark home price here is roughly $285,000, over 60% below the Ontario average. Population density is under 1 person per square kilometer. Temagami was a booming logging hub and canoeing center, anchored by the historic Temagami Station along the Ontario Northland Railway. The nearest full-service hospital is Temiskaming Hospital in Haileybury, a 45-minute drive north along Highway 11, running a 24-hour emergency department with 48 acute beds. Kids attend elementary school in town, but secondary students face an hour-long bus ride each way to New Liskeard. Winter road maintenance on Highway 11 is reliable, but municipal side roads take hours to clear after lake-effect snowstorms. Cell service drops off 2 kilometers into the bush, making Starlink essential for remote workers. A property here relies on heating oil or wood. Filling a fuel tank in northern Ontario easily runs over $4,000 a winter. Add septic maintenance and deep well pumps, and monthly operating expenses rival a city mortgage. You trade urban convenience for northern wilderness and cheap entry. Number 24. The town of Cobalt, Ontario, District of Temiskaming. Walking down Silver Street, you see steep rocky hillsides, wooden boardwalks, clapboard storefronts, and dark timber frames of century-old head frames. Cobalt holds a population of under 990 people. The average home price sits at approximately $165,000, nearly 80% below the Ontario benchmark. In 1903, railway workers uncovered one of the richest silver veins on Earth. Cobalt exploded into a mining camp housing over 10,000 people at its peak. Healthcare rests with Temiskaming Hospital in Haileybury, 10 minutes north, featuring a full-time emergency room. Schools sit within 15 minutes. High-speed fiber internet serves the main town site, and snow removal is prompt due to mining traffic. The catch is historic industrial legacy and building condition. Built between 1905 and 1920, many homes feature stone rubble foundations, outdated knob and tube wiring, active municipal soil management zones from tailings, and structural settling. Lenders often refuse traditional financing on homes under $200,000 with legacy heating, requiring larger cash down payments. Number 23. the town of Parsboro, Nova Scotia, Cumberland County. Stand along Main Street and you smell salt air off the Minas Basin, looking at red rock sea cliffs and Victorian homes. Parsboro has a permanent population of roughly 1,200 residents. The average residential sale price sits around $225,000, 45% below the Nova Scotia average. Its cliffs contain North America's oldest dinosaur fossils, exposed continuously by Bay of Fundy tides. The town houses Bayview Memorial Health Center, but its emergency department operates on reduced hours due to physician shortages, forcing a 45-minute drive to Cumberland Regional Healthcare Center in Amherst for full-time emergency care. Primary education is local, but major retail requires a trip to Amherst or Truro. Oceanfront weather brings severe winter salt spray, gale force winds, and rising flood risks. Insurance premiums have escalated for coastal properties, and finding affordable coverage on a century home with a wood oil furnace is challenging. Parsboro delivers coastal living provided you have remote income and tolerance for winter storms. Number 22. The Township of Black River Matheson, Ontario, Cochrane District. Looking down Highway 101, you see boreal forest, flat clay-belt fields, timber frame homes, and pickup trucks outside farm supply stores. Population sits around 2,400 people across rural settlements. Benchmark home prices sit at approximately $180,000, over 75% below provincial median. In 1916, a bushfire wiped out the pioneer settlement, but residents rebuilt on fertile clay-belt soils, creating an agricultural enclave in mining country. Bingham Memorial Hospital offers 16 beds and primary care, but its emergency department faces seasonal shift closures, requiring a 45-minute drive west to Timmins and District Hospital for major emergencies. High school students bus to Iroquois Falls or Timmins. Cell coverage breaks down on rural concessions. Infrastructure debts and long roads require high maintenance, leading to elevated local property tax mill rates relative to low home values. Severe winters mean heavy heating loads and significant costs for private well and septic upkeep. Number 21. The town of Campbellton, New Brunswick, Restigouche County. Standing on the waterfront promenade, you look across the Restigouche River to Appalachian Mountains in Quebec, with Campbellton Centennial Bridge spanning the water. Population sits around 6,800 residents. Benchmark residential prices are approximately $160,000, 40% below the New Brunswick benchmark. The Restigouche River boasts rich salmon pools that historically drew global royalty to private fishing lodges. Campbellton Regional Hospital offers over 100 beds, full-time emergency services, surgical suites, and bilingual care. Schooling, full-scale grocery stores, pharmacies, and winter road maintenance are fully established. Fiber internet covers the municipality. Forestry and paper mill downscaling scaled back the local economy over 2 decades, leaving a shrinking tax base and limited local employment outside healthcare and public administration. Resale timelines can be long if you need to liquidate. Number 20. The town of Kirkland Lake, Ontario, District of Temiskaming. Walking down Government Road, red brick commercial blocks from the 1930s stand beside minor bungalows, framed by Canadian Shield rock outcrops and mine shafts. Kirkland Lake has a population of roughly 7,900 people. Benchmark home prices sit at $155,000, 75% below the Ontario median. Known as the Mile of Gold, it was born during the 1911 gold rush, producing tens of millions of gold ounces. Blanche River Health operates a 24-hour emergency department alongside 26 acute beds. English and French schools, full grocery stores, and pharmacies sit directly in town, while Highway 66 snow clearing is well managed. Lower-priced homes built between 1920 and 1950 feature plaster walls, outdated wiring, and stone foundations requiring upkeep. The economy remains tied to mining cycles, meaning values fluctuate with commodity pricing, and lenders demand higher down payments for homes under $200,000. Number 19. The town of Kenora, Saskatchewan, Rural Municipality of Good Lake, number 274. Drive into town along Highway 9, and the skyline is dominated by grain elevators, neat wood frame homes, and a 15-foot Ukrainian greeting statue. Kenora carries a permanent population of just over 2,000 residents. Benchmark residential prices sit at roughly $135,000, 55% below Saskatchewan's average. Kenora was established along the Canadian Northern Railway line in 1905, becoming an agricultural hub for Ukrainian homesteaders. Kenora Health Center houses 20 acute care beds, but emergency hours face disruptions from rural staffing constraints, requiring a 40-minute drive south to Yorkton Regional Health Center for full-time emergency care. Schooling and basic retail exist in town. Prairie winters bring cold snaps down to minus 40 degrees Celsius, driving high heating costs whether using natural gas or electricity. Small agricultural service towns carry higher municipal mill rates to maintain infrastructure across a small population, making annual tax bills high relative to purchase price. Number 18. The town of New Waterford, Nova Scotia, Cape Breton Regional Municipality. On Plummer Avenue, you feel salt breeze off Cabot Strait, passing former company houses, brick churches, and views of the Atlantic Ocean breaking against cliffs. New Waterford holds a population of roughly 5,200 people. The average residential home price is approximately $145,000, 65% below Nova Scotia's benchmark. Developed as a coal mining community by Dominion Coal Company, miners worked sub-sea shafts beneath the ocean floor until the last mine closed in the late 1990s. Specialized inpatient care and emergency services are centralized at Cape Breton Regional Hospital in Sydney, a 25-minute drive away. Schools, grocery stores, and pharmacies operate locally. A large portion of low-cost inventory consists of century-old company homes with shallow stone cellars prone to moisture, legacy oil heating, and older roofing facing Atlantic winter storms. Insurance premiums on legacy oil-heated homes in Atlantic Canada can be steep. Number 17. Ville de Chapais, Quebec, Jamaisie Regional County Municipality. Walking down Boulevard Edouard Pachet, dense spruce forest presses up against the perimeter, with steeply pitched bungalow roofs designed to shed snow. Chapais maintains a population of roughly 1,600 people. Benchmark home prices sit at approximately $125,000, over 70% below Quebec's average. Founded in the 1950s following copper and gold discoveries, the town transitioned from a mining camp into a forest products leader. Primary clinics operate locally, but emergency admissions are handled at CLSC in Chibougamau, 45 minutes east along Route 113. French primary education is local. Secondary students commute to Chibougamau. Chapais sits over 700 kilometers north of Montreal, adding transport premiums to building materials and goods. Municipal and commercial life operates fully in French, requiring bilingual skills for local employment outside remote work. Number 16. The town of Flin Flon, Manitoba. Northern Manitoba Unorganized Territory. Look down Main Street over wooden staircases built into exposed Canadian Shield granite, colorful frame houses built on rocky terraces, and the historic smelter stack over Ross Lake. Flin Flon carries a population of approximately 4,900 residents. Average home prices sit right around $120,000, 65% below Manitoba's median. It is named after science fiction character Josiah Flintabity Flonatin from a paperback found by prospector Tom Creighton in 1914. Flin Flon General Hospital operates 26 acute care beds alongside a 24-hour emergency department. Complete schooling, full grocery stores, pharmacies, and a regional airport serve the town. Built on solid granite rock, many homes lack dug basements, using above-ground utility lines or shallow foundations requiring freeze protection. The closure of the local zinc smelter altered the primary industrial employment base, creating economic adjustment for the tax pool. Number 15. The town of Grand Falls, New Brunswick, Victoria County. Stand on the Broadway Boulevard Bridge and look into the gorge where the St. John River cascades over rock ledges, flanked by brick storefronts and potato fields. Grand Falls carries a population of 5,200 people. Benchmark residential prices sit at roughly $115,000, nearly 65% below New Brunswick's average. Built around the largest waterfall in Atlantic Canada east of Niagara, its economy was forged around potato farming. Grand Falls General Hospital operates 20 beds and a full-time emergency department. Schooling is provided in both official languages, with grocery stores and banks lining the main corridor. Trans-Canada Highway access ensures winter snowstorms are cleared rapidly. Industrial manufacturing options remain concentrated, making non-local job hunting difficult outside food processing, healthcare, or government. The town operates as a deeply bilingual community favoring candidates fluent in French and English. Number 14. The town of Elliott Lake, Ontario, Algoma District. Along Hillside Drive, you see lakes framed by Canadian Shield granite, quiet crescents lined with mid-century brick bungalows, and pine forests. Elliott Lake holds a population of roughly 11,300 residents. Average residential home prices sit at approximately $105,000, 85% below Ontario's benchmark. Master planned in the mid-1950s as the uranium mining capital of the world, housing 25,000 people at its peak, mine closures in the 1990s stripped thousands of jobs. Elliott Lake responded by marketing vacant housing directly to retirees. St. Joseph's General Hospital maintains 56 acute care beds and a 24-hour emergency department. Schools, a shopping mall, major grocery outlets, and fiber internet serve the community. Over half the population is over 60, shifting the economy toward senior services and away from young family infrastructure. Much of the low-cost inventory consists of 1950s housing stock requiring roof replacements, window retrofits, and electrical upgrades, while resale appreciation moves slowly. Number 13. The town of Swan River, Manitoba, rural municipality of Swan Valley West. Look down Main Street on a prairie morning to see broad gravel shoulders, historic timber grain elevators, and the dark forested ridge of Duck Mountains. Swan River maintains a population of 4,000 people. Benchmark home prices sit at approximately $98,000, over 70% below Manitoba's median. Tucked into the valley between Duck Mountain Provincial Park and Porcupine Provincial Forest, it survived as an isolated logging and grain hub cut off from main rail corridors during early settlement. Swan Valley Health Center operates 24 acute care beds, surgical suites, and a full-time emergency department. Schooling, 2 full grocery stores, pharmacies, and continuous winter road plowing support the town. Swan River sits roughly 500 kilometers northwest of Winnipeg. Driving to a major city for specialized medical specialists, airport connections, or retail hubs requires a 5-hour road trip through remote northern terrain. Number 12. The town of Oromocto, New Brunswick, Sunbury County. Standing along Restigouche Road, you observe modern suburban cul-de-sacs, paved walking trails along the Oromocto River, strip malls, and military transport vehicles near perimeter gates. Oromocto carries a population of approximately 9,200 residents. Benchmark home prices sit at roughly $95,000 for condos and small frame homes, nearly 60% below New Brunswick's average. The municipality was built in the 1950s to support Canadian Forces Base Gagetown. Oromocto Public Hospital provides acute care beds, though emergency room hours face intermittent evening closures, sending residents 15 minutes up the road to Dr. Everett Chalmers Regional Hospital in Fredericton for overnight emergency care. Schooling, grocery stores, pharmacies, and high-speed fiber internet are fully established. Much of the lowest-priced housing inventory includes leasehold condos or row housing, where monthly condo fees or land leases offset initial purchase discounts. Real estate demand fluctuates with military troop rotations. Number 11. Val des Sources, Quebec, Les Sources Regional County Municipality. Looking down Rue Notre Dame, you see Quebec brick duplexes, tree-lined streets, and the expanse of the open-pit Jeffrey Mine beyond the town edge. Val des Sources holds a population of roughly 7,000 people. Average residential home prices sit at approximately $90,000, nearly 80% below Quebec's benchmark. For over a century, it sat atop the largest serpentinite asbestos mine in the Western world, until international bans closed the mine permanently in 2011, prompting a rebranding from its former name, asbestos. Primary health services operate at CLSC, a centre d'hébergement, with full emergency room care available 20 minutes away at Centre Hospitalier de Asbestos. French language education, full grocery stores, and winter road clearing are standard. Overcoming decades of industrial history takes time, and while environmental remediation has been extensive, property appreciation remains slow compared to regional centers like Sherbrooke. Number 10. The town of Shiloh, rural municipality of Cornwallis, Manitoba. Drive past the entrance off Highway 340 and you are greeted by prairie grasslands, military housing blocks, and training grounds. Shiloh, tied closely to Canadian Forces Base Shiloh, has a resident population of roughly 1,400 people. Benchmark prices for small detached homes sit at approximately $79,000, 75% below Manitoba's benchmark. Established in 1910, Shiloh developed into a major military installation, serving as home base for the 1st Regiment, Royal Canadian Horse Artillery. Medical care relies on Brandon Regional Health Center in Brandon, 25 minutes west, featuring over 200 acute beds and a 24-hour emergency department. Elementary students attend school directly on base. High school students bus into Brandon. Conveniences operate locally, but major grocery runs require driving to Brandon. Lower-priced homes are situated on leasehold land or fall under municipal boundary restrictions, limiting resale pools. Living adjacent to an active artillery training facility involves acoustic impacts, night firing exercises, and market demand that swings with brigade deployments. Number 9. The town of Kapuskasing, Ontario, Cochrane District. Along the Kapuskasing River sits a planned northern town site, a central circular park, red brick commercial buildings, frame homes, and a massive paper mill. Kapuskasing carries a permanent population of roughly 8,200 residents. Average home prices sit at approximately $74,000, representing an 85% drop from Ontario's median. Deliberately master-planned in the 1920s by the Ontario government and Spruce Falls Power and Paper Company, it was created as a model northern industrial garden city and World War I internment campsite. Sensenbrenner Hospital offers 53 beds and a 24-hour operational emergency room. Bilingual education, full grocery stores, pharmacies, a local airport, and winter road maintenance support the town. Situated over 850 kilometers north of Toronto along the Northern Trans-Canada Highway corridor, travel to major urban centers is a major commitment. Downscaling in the forestry sector has put pressure on the municipal tax base, resulting in higher local property tax mill rates to maintain winter roads and pipes. Number 8. The town of Grand Bank, Newfoundland and Labrador, Burin Peninsula. Standing along the waterfront, you look out over a harbor packed with wooden fishing stages, historic sea captains' mansions, granite cliffs, and Atlantic Ocean mist. Grand Bank has a population of approximately 2,200 people. Benchmark home prices sit at roughly $68,000, 75% below provincial figures. Known historically as the fishing capital of Newfoundland, it was the primary home port for the Grand Bank schooner fleet that fished the Grand Banks for cod for over 2 centuries. Grand Bank Health Center provides primary care and emergency services, backed up by U.S. Memorial Health Center in nearby Buren, 35 minutes away, holding acute care beds and emergency facilities. Elementary and high schools operate in town alongside local grocery stores. Following the 1992 cod moratorium, the economic base shifted, leaving the town reliant on an aging demographic and limited industry. Flying out requires a 3.5-hour drive to St. John's International Airport, while ocean storms create heavy maintenance demands on wooden siding and roofs. Number 7. The Village of Empress, Alberta, Special Area Number 2. Looking down Center Street, you see wide dirt shoulders, historic red brick banks, abandoned grain elevator sites, single-story frame houses, and the Prairie Valley where the Red Deer River meets the South Saskatchewan River. Empress maintains a population of just over 130 residents. Average home prices sit at approximately $59,000, 85% below Alberta's benchmark. Established in 1913 by the Canadian Pacific Railway, it was engineered as a major railway junction for a planned city of 10,000 people that never materialized after rail lines rerouted. Emergency medical services require a 35-minute drive to Oyen Municipal Hospital in Oyen, operating 10 acute beds and a full-time emergency department. Elementary students bus to Acadia Valley or Oyen. A local store handles basic sundries, but full grocery shopping and farm supply require trips to Medicine Hat, an hour and 15 minutes south. With no major regional employers, buying here requires remote independence or retirement income. CMHC-insured mortgages are nearly impossible to secure on homes priced under $60,000 in ultra-rural hamlets, requiring personal lines of credit or cash reserves. Number 6. The town of Canso, Nova Scotia, municipality of the district of Guysborough. Standing along the granite shoreline, Atlantic waves crash against exposed rock, whitewashed wooden houses, old fish processing plants, and the Cranberry Island Lighthouse. Canso carries a population of roughly 700 people. Benchmark residential prices sit at approximately $49,000, nearly 85% below Nova Scotia's average. It is one of the oldest European settlements in North America, dating to fishing camps in the early 1500s, and later became the Atlantic terminus for the first transatlantic telegraph cables. Healthcare services are centered at Eastern Memorial Hospital in town, which holds 13 inpatient beds. However, its emergency department faces frequent temporary closures due to nursing shortages, forcing a 45-minute drive to Guysborough Memorial Hospital in Guysborough for emergency care. Primary school is local. High school students bus to Guysborough. The closure of local fish plants decimated the primary employer, leaving vacant housing stock. Atlantic salt air accelerates exterior building decay, while heating a century-old home with fuel oil in an exposed coastal location can cost over $5,000 a season. Number 5. The town of Grand Falls, Windsor, Newfoundland and Labrador, Grand Falls, Windsor District. Stand on the bank of the Exploits River to see boreal forest, wooden two-story homes with steeply pitched gables, wide paved streets, and the river rushing past the historic paper mill site. Grand Falls, Windsor carries a resident population of roughly 14,100 people. Benchmark residential prices for entry-level homes sit at approximately $45,000, nearly 80% below the provincial median. Constructed in 1905 by Anglo-Newfoundland Development Company, it was created specifically as a corporate company town to produce newsprint for British newspapers. Central Newfoundland Regional Hospital in town offers over 90 acute care beds, specialized surgical suites, and a full-time 24-hour emergency department. Schooling is comprehensive in both English and French immersion. Full supermarkets, pharmacies, shopping centers, and provincial highway snow-clearing fleets maintain winter connectivity along the Trans-Canada Highway. The paper mill shuttered permanently in 2009, removing the main employer. Living in central Newfoundland means a 4-hour drive to St. John's and reliance on marine ferry links to the mainland for heavy goods, driving up retail prices. Number 4. The District of Houston, British Columbia, Regional District of Bulkley-Nechako. Looking down Highway 16, you see mountain ridges, snow-capped peaks, timber-framed streets, and lumber mills along the valley floor. Houston maintains a population of roughly 3,050 people. Benchmark home prices sit at approximately $39,000 for small detached residences and park model units, 95% below British Columbia's benchmark. The Morris and Bulkley rivers meet here, creating fly-fishing steelhead trout pools that draw international anglers, standing in contrast to its heavy industrial logging identity. Houston Health Center provides urgent care clinics and diagnostic services, but overnight emergency room admissions require a 45-minute drive west along Highway 16 to Bulkley Valley District Hospital in Smithers. Elementary and secondary schools serve local families, backed by grocery stores, a pharmacy, and winter highway maintenance. Severe downturns in the forestry sector led to major sawmill shutdowns, impacting municipal tax revenues. Living in the forested interior carries annual wildfire exposure, driving up rural property insurance premiums and requiring strict defensible space around wooden structures. Number 3. The town of Uranium City, Saskatchewan, Northern Saskatchewan Administration District. Standing on a quiet gravel road, you look past weathered frame houses toward abandoned concrete administrative blocks, wild birch trees reclaiming empty lots, and Lake Athabasca. Uranium City holds a permanent population of fewer than 50 people, down from over 5,000 during its mid-century boom. The average price for remaining residential structures sits at approximately $28,000. Established in 1952 by the federal government to house workers for El Dorado Mining and Refining, it was built as a northern industrial outpost to supply uranium for nuclear programs before mine closures in 1982 triggered a collapse. There is no operational hospital in Uranium City. Basic medical triage is provided by a small local nursing station, but serious medical emergencies require an air ambulance flight to Prince Albert or Saskatoon, over 700 kilometers south. There are no operational high schools, traditional grocery stores, or year-round overland roads connecting to the Southern Highway network. Supplies arrive primarily by air freight or summer barge. Heating relies on local firewood or expensive air-shipped fuel, while building materials must be hauled by barge or aircraft, making home repairs extraordinarily complex. Number 2. The village of Gold River, British Columbia, Strathcona Regional District on Vancouver Island. Walking along Nootka Road, you see rainforest hillsides covered in giant Douglas firs, fjord water winding through Muchalat Inlet, quiet paved crescents, and wood frame homes tucked beneath coastal mountains. Gold River has a population of roughly 1,200 people. Benchmark prices for small detached properties sit at approximately $24,000, nearly 95% below Vancouver Island averages. Built in the mid-1960s as a pulp mill community, planners buried all utility lines underground to preserve mountain views, making it Canada's first all-electric underground wired town. Gold River Health Clinic handles primary care and daytime nursing, while overnight emergency services require an hour-long drive through mountain passes along Highway 28 to Campbell River General Hospital. The town maintains elementary and secondary schooling, a small grocery store, a pharmacy, and cell coverage. The 1999 pulp mill closure stripped the town of its primary taxpayer, leaving high municipal infrastructure costs spread across a small tax base, while the wet coastal climate demands constant roof and foundation maintenance to combat moisture rot. Number 1. The village of Granisle, British Columbia, Regional District of Bulkley-Nechako. Standing on the shore of Babine Lake, the longest natural lake in British Columbia, you see pristine blue water stretching over 100 kilometers, mountain ranges, spruce trees lining quiet paved streets, and single-story bungalows set on generous forest lots. Granisle holds a permanent population of roughly 300 residents. The average residential sale price sits at an astonishing $19,500, 98% below the British Columbia provincial median and less than 3% of the national average home price. Built in the late 1960s as a planned company town for the Granisle copper mine, it was designed with full municipal water, sewer, paved streets, and community centers. When the copper mine closed permanently in 1992, the industrial workforce departed, leaving behind complete municipal infrastructure and housing stock with virtually no local buyers. Granisle Community Health Center provides primary nursing and visiting physician clinics, while full-time emergency room services and inpatient hospital care require a 1-hour and 15-minute drive along Highway 118 to Houston Health Center or Bulkley Valley District Hospital in Smithers. A local primary school serves young students, while secondary students bus to Houston. A community store provides basic staples, while full grocery shopping requires driving to Houston or Burns Lake. High-speed internet is functional, and municipal winter plowing keeps village streets clear. Conventional mortgage lenders will not write loans on homes under $20,000, requiring cash or personal lines of credit, and resale timelines can stretch across multiple years. Granisle takes number one because it offers a fully serviced detached home on a paved lot beside a world-class lake for less than $20,000, trading away urban job markets and immediate emergency medical care for total financial freedom. Canadian real estate is not expensive everywhere. It is only expensive where millions of people compete for the exact same highway exits and municipal service hubs. Step off those main corridors and housing prices collapse by 70, 80, or 90%. But every dollar saved on purchase price is paid back in travel time, heating fuel, maintenance, and self-reliance. What remains uncertain is the future trajectory of rural healthcare funding and climate-driven insurance costs, which can alter the operating math of a cheap home overnight. Before taking action on any low-cost listing, independently verify local property tax mill rates, test drinking water sources, inspect heating systems, and confirm current emergency room operating hours. If you could eliminate your mortgage entirely today, would you move to Granisle, British Columbia, and accept a 75-minute drive to the nearest hospital for a $19,000 home? Or would you rather pay urban housing prices for the rest of your life to stay 20 minutes from a subway station? Tell us your answer in the comments below. Hit that subscribe button right now so you do not miss our upcoming investigative series examining the most isolated off-grid properties across northern Canada and calculating the exact cost of true self-sufficiency. Verify all listings, do your homework, and do your due diligence.